All right. So, using a metronome. All right. Not just playing to a metronome, but using a metronome to make your playing better. All right. That's the video. You might be like, dude, why would I need to watch a video on how to play to a metronome? Like, I just turn on the metronome and I play at the same speed as the metronome, right? Like, it's not rocket science, bro. And yes, while it's simple, it's a little more difficult than that sometimes. If you're like me, I used to be pretty decent at playing with a metronome, recording with a metronome. But if you took it away, all of a sudden my speed in my pocket would kind of fluctuate a little bit when I was playing. Okay, so I had to figure out some ways to use a metronome as a tool rather than a crutch. So today I'm going to share some of that info with you. All right, cool. So when everyone first starts playing with a metronome, they're taught, just to play in time with it, right? Try and line some hits up with the metronome, like the quarter notes, right? So. Right, once you can do that, maybe a couple different types of rhythms, quarter notes, eighth notes. Right, and so on and so forth, and then eventually you play like a beat or a song, right? So like a drum beat would be. Right, once you can do that, and you're not completely out of time with the metronome, it's like, all right, you're doing pretty good. And that takes a long time, probably years for a lot of people. Once you feel like you've got that skill set down where you can just play like how you naturally play, but you play in time with a metronome, that's when we can start doing some advanced stuff. And one of the first things I did was I learned that you could, on most metronomes, remove every other quarter note, every other beat, right? So right now I'm at 68 beats per minute. So if I remove every other one, I'll be at 34. I'll be at 34 beats per minute, right? And so all of a sudden, by removing every other beat, I have to be accountable for making sure I'm playing so consistently that I don't rush or drag during that empty space, right? So let me show you an example. Okay, so that's doing it halftime. And that's a great starting point to build your internal metronome better. Okay, so from there, what we can do is we can get crazy and we can put the metronome, we can make the metronome feel like it's on a different part of the beat than the downbeat. So usually we feel it on 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like that. So what we can do is we can think of a different subdivision like 16th notes, right? So let's count 16th notes for a sec. 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place an accent after I hear the click, the next 16th note. And what that's going to do is it's going to make the click feel like it's right before the downbeat rather than on the downbeat. So you almost have to like trick your brain into thinking that your accent is the real downbeat and the click is just playing on a different partial. So let me show you. So I play 16ths first. One E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3. right? Cool. So it's kind of tough at first. And oftentimes you'll find you have to kind of warm up into it and kind of start to feel the groove, and it's not going to happen right away. You might kind of have to find it. You have to search for it. You could probably even hear when I just played with it, right? I had to kind of search for it for a sec because it's weird to not have the click where you normally expect it, right? So that's one of my favorite things to do is just put the click on the or you could put it on the E, or we could put it on the and, right? So now 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and that one's probably a little easier to do than putting it on the like I did before. So maybe start by putting an accent on the and, 1E and a 2E, and make that feel like the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So that's one of the main things I do is displace the metronome onto a different partial of a beat. You can do it with triplets, right? So all right. Now I'm going to place an accent after that click. One triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Cool. So you can do it with any rhythm that you can count. And I can't emphasize enough how important counting is for this. If you can't count and like figure out how to trick your brain into feeling a different downbeat, it's going to be really hard to do this, to start doing it, right? So play a subdivision, play an accent on a partial that's not the downbeat, and then count in order to reinforce that this is the new downbeat. And then start grooving and see if you can maintain time with that weird displaced click. Cool? Yeah.